Good morning. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. I thought I would try just a different space today, just for fun. Just I like keeping things novel. So I may be back in the office next time, but I am in my living room area today. And on the other side of my computer is a beautiful view of trees and grass and water and just absolutely gorgeous. And I was thinking this was a perfect place for me to be sitting out and looking over. I have had such a wonderful weekend of nature. There's a little gopher turtle that lives just on the other side of my back um, patio area. And every now and then he comes out and kind of waddles around and picks at some grass and just kind of forages through the nature area next to me. And yesterday I was taking a picture of him, taking some videos of him. I just like to do that. And he was very close, closer than usual. And I was taking video of him, and suddenly it seems like he saw me, and he looked up because I'm on the second floor of the building. He looked up and he stopped eating and he just stared at me. I was trying to get a video of him eating his grass and plucking at it. It's so cute. And he just looked at me and he just stopped and looked at me for a little while. So I'm like, okay, I am interrupting you and you are interrupting my nature photography. Um, so I stopped and he went back immediately, right back to his picking his grass and eating it. And I went for a little walk last night and it was raining outside and um, the sunset was happening over the water, and behind I was looking out at the water, behind me was this beautiful rainbow that kept getting brighter and brighter. And then it was a double rainbow, and it was just so gorgeous. And there were some herons and I don't even know what kind of birds we have around here. An osprey in the tree. I could hear the owls hooting nearby. It was just this beautiful nature melody happening outside. It was just gorgeous. And it was appropriate for me to share that with you today because I came across this article this week about breathing and how breathing is good for the nervous system. And it was all about these studies that were done on mice and looking at animals in the wild. And what they found was they could actually train mice to monitor their breathing, which made them less anxious. Um, and in the wild, this article went on to say, um, animals have been able to survive and adapt better when they're able to control their breathing and not have short, anxious breaths, which can give them away or make them move. Because, when anxiety builds up in our nervous system, whether we're humans or animals, it makes us kind of twitchy. In case you haven't noticed, anxiety makes us twitchy. And so the animals in the wild who have learned intuitively and instinctively to um, manage their breath and to slow their breath down are able to survive better in the wild. So this article was talking about different kinds of breathing. There's certain kind of breathing which people kind of in our society in general talk about breath work. And when they're talking about breath work, they're talking about deep breathing, holding the breath for up to a minute even. And it's a specific therapeutic breath, which we're not going to do in Monday morning meditation. It can make people feel lightheaded. It kind of like it does the same thing, or I shouldn't say that because I don't know that for sure, but the the results of that kind of intensive breath work with holding the breath and hyperventilating is part of that process sometimes. Um, is it does something similar to the nervous system as fasting does from food for a day. It can really clear things out, but there's also some other things that I'm not trained in and don't feel like I need to be. So So that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about using our breath during our meditation time. Using our breath during our meditation time is about calming. It's about focus. It's about tuning into what's happening in our bodies right here, right now. And it does so many, has so many benefits for us. It brings our thinking process into the present moment. Because really, if we are with our breath during our meditation time, we are not thinking about other things. It's very difficult to think about, whatever we're worried about if we're focused on our breath. And likewise, it's very difficult to focus on our breath if our mind is focusing on the things that we want to worry about, or feel worried about, or think we need to worry about. So bringing our focus back to that breath helps to give our brains one task at a time to work with, not a zillion. It also stimulates something in the brain, which we know this, we've talked about this before. It stimulates the vagus nerve. It stimulates the part of the brain that helps to calm all of the systems in the body, all of the organs and their functioning. Doesn't stop them. It just slows everything down and puts us in a state of calm and a sense of safety in our bodies. And when our bodies are in that sense of safety, our minds can open up to more. When our bodies aren't in that grounded sense of safety, then we're kind of closed off because we're looking at our own, am I okay? How am I going to be okay? What am I going to do next? And busy, 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 trying to make ourselves okay when our meditation time, in contrast, is a time where I know I'm okay. Even if it's just for 15 minutes, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't have to think about any of that. I'm okay. And we really benefit from more of that sense of okayness, even in a state of not knowing how to solve something, which, we might have a lot of that going on in our lives right now. We have problems, issues, worries coming forth that we don't know how to solve or resolve, but we will. We will. We can trust ourselves that we will take what we need to take, the steps that we need to take in order to solve those problems. We know we can trust that about ourselves, and we can be in that state of, I don't know the answer right now, but I will. I will. This will be resolved. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I'm doing my part and I just have to wait and see. Wait and see. And in the meantime, we can allow ourselves to be in that state of calm while we wait. And I remember a quote by Eckhart Tolle, who wrote Power of Now and many other things since then. Um, And he said, I go to the grocery store and I'm standing in line and I'm not waiting. I'm just being. I'm just being. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. I know what's going to happen next. I'm embellishing on what he said. But when we're waiting in a grocery store line, we know what's coming next. We don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know if we picked the right aisle to check out, but we know we will. So there's nothing to wait for. We can just be. We can just be. So anyway, back to the breath. So in our Monday morning meditations, we often use breath to calm the mind-body system, to synchronize. Um, HeartMath is an organization that has been around since the 70s, working with biofeedback and finding that the average breath to help synchronize the mind-body system is 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds breathing out. The Navy SEALs like box breath, where we breathe in for the count of 4, hold it for the count of 4, breathe out to the count of 4, and hold that to the count of 4. And this article that I was reading talked about breathing into the count of 5, holding it to the count of 7, and breathing out to the count of 8. I don't know about you, but for me, my mind would get all bogged down in, okay, was that 7 seconds, or am I rushing it? Am I, and if I breathe out that far, it's like, oh gosh, can I really breathe out that far? Like I'm only breathing in 5. Can I really breathe out 8 after holding it for? I like simple. I like breathing in to the count of 4, breathing out to the count of 4. I'm good with that. And it's important to choose the methodology that um, that fits you, that fits your style, that fits if you like oh, I like breathing into the count of 5, holding it to the count of 7, breathing out to the count of 8 because it really helps relax me, then do that. If you like the box breath because it's a structure, then do that. If you like just watching your belly and not counting at all, just watch your belly, breathe in, feel it, expand with it. As you breathe in and that through the diaphragm, that belly expands. As you breathe out, it just relaxes toward the spine and you don't have to count at all. Do that. It's not, these methods are interesting because there's science behind them, and I love science. Um, but the important part is not even the science of it. The important part is the doing of it, the practicing, the being every day as um, you're doing your own meditation time. So anyway, so that is where we are at today. So I am going to hmm, just let ourselves have our meditation time this morning. We're going to let everything else go right now. I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. And I like starting with a deep breath or two because it just helps me shift from talking or listening or thinking to focusing internally on my breath. We let everything else go right now. There are so many things in the world that are out of our control, but our breath belongs to us. No matter where we are, no matter what is happening around us, we have our breath. Our breath is breathing, sustaining us, no matter what, even when we're not thinking about it. And our breath is there when we are focusing on it. So I invite you to just focus on that belly breath, feeling the diaphragm be in charge of bringing that air in as the belly expands and relaxing as you breathe out. And I like using that quick breath, breathing into the count of 4, not quickly, just paced for 4 seconds, breathing out for 4 seconds. If there's a different method that you prefer, use your own method. It's okay. We're still here together. We're still sharing this time. We're still breathing. And even when the mind says, yeah, but all this other, all these other things are happening, all these other things on my to-do list, all these other things in the world, just acknowledge that. Yes, those things are there, but right now we're stepping away from all of that. We're stepping out of the world of activity and into that world of peace within. We just choose our attention to be on the breath. We choose the breath. Just bringing our attention back to the breath as often as needed. It's okay. We're not struggling to bring the mind back. We're not trying to push the thoughts away. We're just gently refocusing on the breath. We just keep bringing our attention back to the breath. And in that, there's a certain surrender that we're doing, surrendering to all the things that are out of our control. Not surrendering to them, but surrendering that those things are out of our control, surrendering to the lack of control we have over the world, over how fast our problems are solved, or all the things that bombard us throughout the day. And bringing our attention back to the breath allows us to manage something that we do have control over, to be present with what is ours to do right in front of us. And really, it brings our brains, our minds into the reality of our own responsibilities. Sometimes it seems like that's not enough. It's not enough to heal the world. It's not enough to change the things we want changed. But our own breath, our own responsibilities of this day, of this moment, is all that is on our plate, truly. But there is power in that presence. There is guidance in that presence. There are new ideas in that presence. But just like those animals in the wild that adapted better when they could manage their breath, for them, new ideas came from their internal state of peace, of presence. And that is true for us as well. Our new ideas, our new influence over what's happening in our own surroundings comes from a place of peace and trust in the safety of the moment. And as we do that, that peace reverberates throughout the world. Maybe it's not as fast as we'd like it to, but that is our important part. And if you have time today to spend more time with your breath and just bringing your focus and attention back to your breath in whatever manner resonates with you, I invite you to do that. There's never too much time spending in meditation. And if you need to go about your day, I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths once again to shift into your day, into the surroundings as you become aware of them again and perhaps open your eyes, knowing that you can pull into that space again anytime throughout the day. And it's beneficial to redirect to that breath many times throughout the day. It's almost like we are letting go of the trying to grab onto solutions or the difficulties that are going on in the world, and we try to grasp onto them to change them. But when we stop and we focus on our breath, where it's like we're letting go of the things we cannot control and bringing our attention and focus back to what we can. And as long as we are doing what is ours to do in the moment, we are making a difference to everyone around us in close proximity and beyond, because that peace reverberates out to the world. But it starts right here. It starts right here. And I say that once for you and once for myself. So we will continue to practice this throughout the week. Thank you for being here with me today. And I just send you lots of love and light for your day and for your week. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye.